The World Health Organization included vaccine hesitancy in its list of top 10 threats to global health this year, and it's leading to an outbreak of vaccine-preventable diseases like measles. Behind all this, a growing movement of anti-vaccination activists who are spreading conspiracy theories online, targeting vulnerable groups of people. NBC's Brandy Zadrozny has been reporting on the anti-vaccination movement. She's here with us now, and to be added to the list of top 10 threats to global health, Brandy, that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, vaccine hesitancy is causing all sorts of problems. It's causing an education crisis with kids who are not able to go to school in California and New York. It's causing measles outbreaks, the worst that we've seen in decades. So it's a real thing, and it poses a real public health risk. And it's driven by some of these conspiracies that you mentioned.
All right, let's start with, tell us about Evie. Who is she, and how has she become a face of this movement? Yeah,
Evie is a beautiful 6-month-old little girl. It breaks your heart. And she died in March of this year. And after she died, her mother posted to Facebook, like a lot of us do when we have terrible things happen to us. And her comments and her post was really leapt on by the anti-vaccine community, who has provided a sort of refuge to this mother. We know, because we have 911 recordings, we have the autopsy reports, and we have police reports. We know that little Evie died because of an unsafe co-sleeping experience with her mother. It's tragic. But that's been turned into this idea that she was killed by vaccines, which it didn't happen and rarely ever happens. So she's used as a poster child. She's on billboards. You can buy t-shirts with her face on it. She's leading multiple anti-vaccine groups, fundraisers. She's really become the poster child for a movement.
So let's talk about how this anti-vaccination movement is gaining ground in spite of the evidence against it. How are they working?
Well, the point is, you can have science, or you can have a story from a mother of a baby who's died. And who's going to question that story? You want to support a grieving mother.
Right.
So that's a very powerful thing. It's so powerful that Facebook can't combat it. It's not fake news, so they can't take it down. And, people will share that. Those are the things that go viral. So these stories are actually leading the movement. This is how the movement's gaining ground. And it's also being pushed by some people who are making money off of it. This is a living for people like Larry Cook, who has Facebook's most popular group, Stop Mandatory Vaccination. It's big business for the former daytime television producer Del Bigtree, who has a show called The High Wire, and a 501c3 that bought in $1.4 million last year. Wow. So this is big business. These people have skin in the game, and that's why it's moving at the speed that it is.
All right, Brandy, there's so many more questions I wish I had time to ask you, but we have to get on to some more Trump news today, but I hope you please come back and talk to us about this again. Thank you.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.